So you're giving yourself a lighter, shorter trigger press if you really need it. However, unlike revolvers, auto loaders have slides that cycle, right? They have to eject that old shell casing. They got to load a new round in the chamber from the magazine. During that process, look at this, watch the hammer. They physically cock the hammer for you. That means your first shot, you're going to be damn sure. It's going to be long and a heavy trigger pull. So you're going to be sure whenever you send it that you meant to. But all of your follow-up shots are going to be faster and lighter. Great perk. Huge plus in my opinion. Remember how I mentioned that it takes hand strength also to cycle the slide of an auto loader? Part of the resistance comes from cocking the hammer or cocking the striker. So another perk of the double action, single action, if you cock the hammer first, it makes it a little bit easier to rack the slide. So if you have limited hand strength, if the action of cycling the slide is difficult for you, double action, single actions are attractive for that reason because you can make it a little bit easier on yourself by cocking the hammer first. And when you're done, you can decock it. And that's yet another perk of this gun. Unlike the revolver where you have to pull the trigger and kind of ride the hammer forward, you can just hit a decocker. A lot of double action, single actions, I know this SIG does, I know this Beretta does. They've got this little lever here, and whenever you depress it, it decocks safely without firing the gun. Yet another perk, if you're holstering or you're moving the gun around from point A to point B, you can always keep your thumb pressed against the back of the hammer. Makes it really hard to pull the trigger because you're putting that forward pressure on the hammer. So that's another safety feature. Again, I'm not telling beginners to avoid striker-fired handguns or handguns with manual safeties. I'm telling you to get what you're confident with. Like, what do you think you're going to be confident with? What do you know how to shoot? That's what you should get. But if I'm giving generic, best, one-size-fits-all advice, hammer-fired autos work for beginners all the way through to experts. After all, the Navy SEALs used the SIG P226 right here for decades, and the U.S. military used the Beretta M9, the 92, for 3 decades. Beretta, very well-developed line of hammer-fired pistols, actually. It's hard to go wrong with anything they make. If you want a big bedside gun, the Beretta 92, tough to beat, one of the most reliable 9mm handguns ever made. Magazines are cheap, operating the controls pretty easy. You can get one with a safety, or as I would recommend, one with a decocker like this one, but it's just a part change if you want to go from like safety to decocker, no problem. But what's great is you can go belt and suspenders. If you want, get a hammer fired gun with a safety, use the safety until you feel comfortable, and after that you can just carry with the hammer down and the safety off. That's what I like about double action, single action hammer fired guns. They're adaptable to your skill level and they can grow with you. You can adjust how you carry them based on your confidence with the system.